This is Module 59, Part 2. So if you're looking at that profit or loss that we've had before, now what we're going to see is the long run process happen. When the long run process happens, you're going to get a graph that kind of looks like the one on the screen. Your marginal revenue, demand, average revenue price is going to come through and hit right at the bottom of our average total cost curve. What is that going to mean? Well, that's going to mean that this firm can't do anything else. It's not earning a profit. It's not earning a loss. It's going to be earning just its normal profit or zero economic. This is the best spot for a firm to be. It means it couldn't do something different and have any more money, or it's not leaving any money on the table either. How does that work in economics? Well, as you look at perfect competition, then we'll go back to our graphs, right? I have my market over here. I got my supply curve, my demand curve, my price, and my quantity. And right now, this firm is, let's say, going to experience a little bit of profit. All right. So there's my market, my profit firm over here. Well, what does a firm look like if it's making a profit? I got my Mr. DARP line coming across, right? I'm going to have my marginal cost curve, my Nike swoosh curve, right? There's my marginal cost. I'm going to have my average total cost curve is going to be below, meaning my costs are less than my revenue. So my average total cost curve is going to come down, bottom out at my marginal cost, come up. There is my average total cost curve. Now, as I recall, I'm always going to go to where MC equals MR, make a point, come straight down from there. That is the quantity for the firm. There is the price that I'm getting. All right. And at this point right here, I'm experiencing a little bit of positive economic profit. So what's going to happen? Well, if you can't stop somebody from coming into the market because you are a price taker, like anybody could come into the market, anybody could see this happen to you where like, oh, like, hey, I could do that too, right? Because all you're doing is something that everybody else can do. You're going to see suppliers enter the market. We'll do that with a different color. We'll do that with red. So suppliers are going to enter the market, and suppliers are going to enter the market right to this point here. So supply 2 comes into play, right? More suppliers. Well, what's going to happen when suppliers come into your market? They are going to take your profit away. And supply is going to cause another price to come in, which is going to end up with another Mr. DARP line and a new price for you. Now, what's going to happen? Well, my marginal costs, I'm going to come right down my marginal cost curve to this bottom part here, and me as a firm, I'm going to produce less quantity. Why? Well, I'm getting less price, right? And there's more people in the market, so I'm getting less price. I'm going to come right down. My marginal cost curve is my supply curve. And I'm going to work right down that marginal cost curve until I'm going to produce where MC equals MR. I have a new MR MC spot when those suppliers came in. So sure enough, they came in, took my profit away. What's going to happen in the market overall? Well, in the market overall, the price is definitely going to come down, but the quantity in the market's actually going to increase. I'm going to see more firms produce more stuff in the market, which is causing that price to come down. But for me as an individual producer of this particular good, I'm actually going to earn less money because this is happening. Now, sometimes, as firms come in and out of the market, what will occur is, what if too many firms come into the market? Well, we can show that too. If too many firms come in, let's say all the way down to here, I'm going to get a lower price here, Mr. DARP 3. And when that happens down here to P3, I'm going to stay in business, maybe, but I'm going to be where my MR equals MC right here. Now I'm actually earning a little bit of a loss in here, right? That green box is a loss to me. I am below my average total cost curve. So what will happen through this adjustment process, because we don't really know how many firms are coming in or going out at any one given time, you're going to see maybe supply starts out on that black line. It's going to shift out to the red line. Then, but maybe too many people come in. It goes all the way to the green line. It will then have some people back off. These people who are earning a loss are going to get out of the market and will end up in the long run on that red line. Because in the long run, perfect competitors can only earn this normal profit spot, which is right here. Normal profit is where MC equals MR at the bottom of my ATC, and that will be the red line. So it's possible to go from black line to green line to red line, but then once it's on that red line, it usually doesn't switch. Or if it does switch, it's because someone's coming into the market who's kind of an idiot. For example, in De Pere, let's say we have a certain number of bars, right? Let's say that we're on that red line right there. Well, some new person comes in and says, man, you know what I want to do? Open a bar in De Pere. So they go get, apply, get the liquor license, etc., and then they open up a bar. And then what happens is they actually went from the red line to the green line. They didn't know it. Probably the people that were in the bar industry knew it. But when they went to that green line, they're like, oh man, I'm earning a loss. This is really hard. So the people who were in it for a long time, they kind of have enough clout maybe with their maybe the people, their fixed cost people, right? Their rent that they're paying, or maybe they own their own place, and they can negotiate some of those costs. They wait it out, and usually it's the newbie that comes in. They say, hey, bad decision, and then they leave the market. Why? Well, because the red line is where we have to be. And when people come in and go to the green line, it doesn't make any sense. So as you look at that graph, that's what this is showing us. This is our price coming in right at the bottom of our average total cost curve, hitting our marginal cost curve. That would be a normal profit for us. What's going to happen in these short run situations? If your total revenue ends up being less than my variable cost, that's when you have to shut it down. If you're in that middle where you're just earning a little bit of a loss, okay, it is what it is. You might have to be able to make some adjustments, etc. But if that price drops below that average variable cost, that's when you have to shut it down, because you don't even have enough money in the bank to pay your hourly wage workers. So that's that shutdown rule. If you look at this graph here, you can see my shutdown is going to be at point A. This one actually has your average variable cost graphed here. So here's my average total cost, normal profit, right? If the price comes down to here, this is where I'm going to shut it down. If my price hits someplace in here, I'm going to earn a loss, right? I'm going to come up to my average total cost curve every time, square that in, loss, loss, loss. If my price was up here, I'm going to have profit, profit, profit. So profit, normal profit, loss, and then right there, it's nope, shut her down, because you can't even put gas in the car at that point. You're stuck. So that long run, exit and enter, when you finally see firms like just shutting her down, that's when you're going to end up in the long run sort of normal spot. And as you see that process happen, we're always going to end up at the bottom of our ATC. All right. With that being said, that's the second part of that one. It's a lot. Go look at that Greaves worksheet and see if you can figure it out.